All right, people, welcome to the Visionary Connection. Today is part 3 of speed and consistency. Check out the first and second videos here for parts 1 and 2 because it will give you some context what we're talking about. So part 3 of speed and consistency. So let's dig right in. Okay, look, real estate transactions. Number 1, believe me, I'm telling you the truth. Sellers want their money. Okay, sellers want their money. They want to close on time. They don't want any bumps in the road. They don't want any surprises. Okay, just be honest. I'm speaking to you as a friend. I'm speaking to you as a professional. I am speaking to you in very clear, plain English. Okay, very clear language. I'm not trying to be demeaning. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm trying to actually lay it out the way that it is. And if you can understand that, the way that it is, it will help you in a real estate transaction when you are the buyer, when you're the listing agent, when you're the buyer's agent, when you play any part in it, especially if you're the loan officer and you're helping someone get to the finish line. Okay, period. Respect people. Okay. Number 2, contract dates are not random. They're not arbitrary. They're on there for a reason. What do I mean by that? When a contract date is set, it's already been negotiated by the buyer and the seller, okay? So whether that is 25 days out, which is pretty fast, whether it's 30 days out, which is normal, or maybe it could be 45 or 60 days out, it depends upon the needs of the buyer and the seller, what their particular life and family and planning and professional situations are. But regardless, when realtors put together a transaction that has a contract, and that closing date's on there, it's not something that they've picked out of the blue. It's on there for a reason. Therefore, look at yourself as a swimmer. I was just listening to a podcast talking about a world-class swimmer who swum the the English Channel. You've had swimmers that have gone from Cuba to the United States. If you're a swimmer, right, you can see the shore. Okay, that's the thing. You have to be able to see your goal, even if it's so many miles away. It gives you that motivation. It gives you that push. You know what you are striving for. Okay, so when you have your contract date, you have a goal, a day set before you, so you're working toward it. Buyers and sellers need constant reassurance. They need constant communication, constant encouragement, okay? Constant updates on what's going on. People do not like to be in the dark. When they're in the dark, there's the automatic assumption that something's wrong, something's not going right, we're going left instead of going right. Just have constant communication, constant updates, and constant reassurance if you're working for the buyer or whether you're working for the seller. Honestly, in my experience, especially dealing with realtors, that's all they want. They don't want a bunch of detail. They don't want to know, well, yeah, I ordered this and now I have to wait 48 hours. No, they just want to have, general milestone updates. How's it going? Where are we at? They want to, know if there's any issues. Don't hide from the issues. But again, constant communication and reassurance is all that people want. It's all that people need, and they deserve it, and you should be able to give it to them, right? Price and cost. This is extremely important. Price and cost is the other part of what we were discussing in parts 1 and 2 of this video series. Price shows respect for the client's budget, right? It shows consideration. It shows balance of wants and needs. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, the higher someone's interest rate is, the more their monthly payment's going to be, right? Okay, well, you need to have a consideration for their budget, for their family. Right? Have that discussion way back in the beginning on what can they afford comfortably, because it's not only the mortgage payment that they have to take into consideration, but it's gas for their car, utilities, food to put on the table, entertainment, whatever else it is. It's not just a mortgage payment they're making in their life. They have a lot of other things going on. So you want to be respectful and consideration, show consideration for that. But at the same time, you need to balance their wants versus their needs, okay? The needs are far more important, but you also want to address their wants because we're in the service of customer service, right? No one likes to be overcharged, okay, or upsold. I don't like to be overcharged at all. I don't like to take my car to the dealership and get that text, or have them walk out and have this whole list of extra stuff that they're trying to charge you for, even though a lot of it is probably legitimate. You're not there for that. You're not there for that, right? Or you don't want to go somewhere, you want to buy X, but then the salesperson wants to sell you Y and Z and everything else on top of that. You don't want that. You're not there for that. You try to be very polite and try to push them off. And it's the same thing when you're dealing in a real estate transaction. Be fair, be legit, tell the truth, and I promise you, you will get people to refer you business. So now you have a multiplier effect versus just focus on trying to make as much money as possible and to justify that for a particular client. Don't do that, okay? Because you're not going to build the type of trust and the type of legitimacy that's going to help you to stay in business and get the 5-star Google reviews that you want. Okay, look, at the same time, we're professionals. Okay, what does that mean? And we're not giving the hookup. I've had so many people say, well, Brandon, hey, can you give me the hookup? What does that mean? Okay, it's not like that. I think there was an old movie with Master P, right? And they were trying to get the telephones and the cell phones. I got the hookup, right? So you may not have heard of that movie. Check it out, all right? But listen to me, all jokes aside. I'm a professional, okay? I'm going to give you the very best deal that I can. Just because you're my friend or just because you're my cousin doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to give you the sweetheart deal. That means that I'm treating everyone else different. I need to have the same standard for everyone that I deal with, and that's top notch. Whatever realtor you're dealing with, whatever loan officer you're dealing with, whatever service professional you're dealing with, they need to have the same standard going across the board. Now, sometimes do we, lean a little bit one way or the other so that we can help people who may have some financial issues? Absolutely. That's a part of charity, that's a part of giving, that's a part of professionalism, but I do not make it a regular part of my business practice. Why? And I'm very grateful for the referrals and the business relationships that we have. It's because we treat people right time after time after time, because we're concerned more about the long term. We're concerned about our reputation. We're concerned about doing the right thing, bottom line. So that's our standard here at Visionary Lending. So check it out. In part 3, as we've talked about, okay, speed and consistency is really important. In real estate transactions, the sellers want their money, okay? You want to communicate with people, right? Contract dates are not arbitrary. You really want to respect the contract date. Also, with regards to pricing, interest rates, closing costs, those types of fees, be as honest and upfront as possible. Treat people like adults. Tell them what they need to do. Hold their hand, walk them along the way, and I promise you, you will have success. See you soon. Check out the video here for the upcoming part 4 of Speed and Consistency. Take care.